Good afternoon. This is Nancy Mackey with Open Gate Consulting, and I'm excited today to be speaking with Sarah Nienhuis, Chief Corporate Secretary Treasurer of C. Johnson Construction. And today we're talking in honor of Women in Construction Week. So welcome, Sarah.
Thank you.
Yeah, glad to have you with us. And we'd just like to get a little background from you. First of all, can you tell us how you got into this crazy field to begin with?
Kind of all by fluke. I graduated with a 4-year accounting degree and a business administration degree, and was back home trying to figure out where to go, what job to do. Kind of just went back to my summer job that I'd had every summer. And I was actually approached by Corey Johnson, who he knew of my family. So there was a little, who you know, not what you know.
Mm-hmm.
So he asked me if I wanted to start as staff accountant, kind of under a mentorship, and said, yeah, sure, that would be great. The deal was that I was going to go to a graduate school.
Mm-hmm.
And so if he didn't like me, he wouldn't have to fire me. I would just be going off to school. But that actually, going away actually fell through. I do have my master's in business administration, but I did it all remotely. So he didn't get to fire me. He didn't want to fire me. So almost 20 years later, I'm still here. And so it was just kind of
amazing.
He came and said, you willing to do accounting for construction? I'm like, sure.
Wow.
We'll see.
Well, he must have seen something in you that he knew was going to be valuable to the company.
Yeah.
So, wow, what a journey! Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. So, and well, what have you found challenging in the construction industry? I mean, that's.
I think I don't know if it's necessarily the construction industry. I think it's just in corporate America in general. It's just the challenges are the people. They can be the best benefit, but they are also the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
Yeah.
Working with personalities, communication styles, just age differences. So I think that's been just how to communicate, how to work with each individual as a person, as a corporate team.
Yeah. And how have you found yourself in all these many years overcoming those challenges?
Just by jumping in and doing it. I mean, just communicating and being open with people that, I don't know what you mean by this, or this is what you said, or this is how you said something. Am I picking this up correctly? What do you need to do your job? What do you need of me? Mm-hmm. How can I better help you? Mm-hmm. But I think just getting in there and getting dirty and, learning from mistakes. And, sometimes you have to apologize later. Sometimes it's just, that one didn't work, so let's try it again.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And has your, what has increased your confidence over the years?
Having a good mentor. Mm-hmm. I started under somebody who was a corporate treasurer, secretary treasurer, who had been for 20 years. And so she kind of had ways of how to deal with people, how to, communicate better, continuing on education sometimes. Mm-hmm. So,
all of that.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I am curious. There are not a ton of women in the construction industry, so I imagine you're a bit of a minority in your environment. And so how has being a woman impacted your experience on the job?
I grew up with brothers, fortunately, which helped a lot. It's interesting. You have to be able to put aside the gender differences.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to not give into the stereotypes of women in the field. And I have learned that you really have to keep your cool more than anybody else is going to have to do.
Interesting.
I mean, now I've been here for 20 years. So, I mean, now it's just like a bunch of brothers, for me.
Yeah.
but you really have to be calm, cool, collected,
Yeah.
really think about what you're going to say and then really how you're going to say it
Mm-hmm.
before you say things. Because
Wow.
these guys are very sensitive on tones of voices and they will pick up on things right away and take it the wrong way. And so if you're not
Interesting.
feeling on top of your game, then maybe
Yeah.
that isn't the day to take on a big confrontational argument,
Yeah.
So it's just
Wow.
know yourself
Yeah.
and, know how you come across to other people. And yeah,
Boy, that's powerful. I mean, yeah, I think those are, and they're such tough skills to learn.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I've only learned them. Sometimes you only learn them by doing things. I
Yep.
mean, they don't teach it in school how
Right.
to, you know, handle women versus men in the construction
Right.
industry. So
Right.
yeah,
Trial and error. Yeah.
trial and error.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Is there a particular stereotype that I love what you said about not giving in to the stereotypes that women,
right,
is there any
right.
one that comes to mind that,
Um, they're emotional. I mean,
mm,
probably words I wouldn't use on videotape. I wouldn't use
right,
anyway, but
right,
they're emotional or, they can't handle it or
right,
they're not going to understand.
right.
And, it's like if it's an understanding thing, well, help me to understand,
Yeah.
where is it you come from? Women's brains work totally different than men's brains. And so I'm not going to ever understand that, but just knowing that it does and
Right,
acknowledging that they don't always see things, understand things the way you and I might.
right.
So got to come at it at a different angle.
Yeah.
Or lately, I've just been upfront. Well, how do you see this? How do you understand this? This
Asking
is what
good
we need to
questions.
do.
Yeah.
How
Oh,
do
I
you
love
get
it.
there?
I love it. Well,
Yeah,
and I love what you said about having older brothers. I started my career in the military and I have two older brothers, and I always say
yeah,
they boy-proofed me very well
yeah.
and made me help me prepare for that environment probably better than anything.
Help me learn to roll my eyes and walk away. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly, exactly.
yeah.
Well, what excites you about maybe the future of this industry and
I've learned to like construction. I mean, it's nothing is the same
mm,
any day. I mean,
hmm,
we do site and utility construction, so every project is different.
hmm,
Every talent, every person's got their own talents, and they're all different. I mean, it's just what excites me is seeing people learning to work together for a project or learning new things or new
hmm,
techniques and having a successful project come together. And it's this whole crew that's doing it. I mean, it's not
yeah,
any one person,
yeah,
it's the whole team, which includes office staff,
yeah,
support staff. It's not
yeah,
just the guys out in the field.
yep.
It's, yeah,
You're
each
all
day is a
coming
new
together.
day. So
Oh,
it's
well, and
exciting.
I envy the very concrete evidence of success that you have at the end of a
Yeah.
project, right? There's something
Right.
really visible and
Right.
tangible. It's like, yeah,
Right.
we did that.
We did this. We did
Right,
this. And working through, if we got every project's going to have its own problems too. And
right.
we've got some new guys coming up that have never led projects before and
Hmm.
watching them work through it and see how it goes. And then at the end, you can be like, yeah, we did that. It was tough, but hey,
Yeah,
we did it.
yeah.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
that's great. Well, have you found any resources that have been helpful over the course of your career to support you in your role?
I'm going to say resources come from friends, family,
Hmm.
people who are in management. Um, and it doesn't have to be in construction. It can be, I have a sister who works for the school district and who is in management. And it's what does she find that helps her work with people?
Hmm.
I mean, what attitudes does she need to take? And like, well, can that transfer to me here?
Right.
Having people to talk to about it. I mean,
Yeah.
I've got a good support crew with the executives here
Hmm.
that, hey, if I'm a resource for me to talk out how to get through this next phase or
Yeah.
through this particular issue. Um, Classes, you can
Yeah.
take classes for background knowledge, but they only get you so far.
Right.
So when you've got to really start dealing with people and and seeing how things work. I mean, people are my resources for dealing with people.
Right. Oh, wow,
So,
that's quotable.
yeah.
That is a great quote. Yeah, that's for sure. That's
So,
probably the most profound thing to remember, right? Is that, yeah,
yeah.
we really need people, and those relationships are so critical. That's a great point.
And I think
Um,
understanding how you want to be treated
mhm,
is, I mean, that's what I usually tell my guys when they're getting upset with somebody. How
mhm,
do you want to be treated? You
mhm.
can't go talk to your coworker that way because you wouldn't want to be talked to that way.
Right.
So let's back up and see if we can figure out a solution to work together and to get things resolved. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that's great.
so
Well, do you have any parting advice for someone entering the field as we wrap up?
jump in. Just, I mean, it's not easy, but nothing's going to be easy. See if I can get it right. Somebody told me once the hardest things in life are, or the, see if I can remember it. The best things, the most valuable things in life are the hardest things that we've done. So,
Mm,
just jump in, use your resources, network with people, but also don't be afraid to say, hey, I messed up.
mm,
And, we need to redo or have to apologize or,
yeah,
just go for it,
love it.
you know.
Love it. Well, this was great. I really appreciate you taking out the time to speak with me today, Sarah. A lot of
Thank
good
you.
advice. It's been very enlightening, and have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.